Very, very pleased. Yeah, I think it's we've come a long way in the last 5 years, and it's another kind of real moment for us. He's a great player, a great guy, and hopefully he can help us move up the league.
What's the very latest, please, on Scott Dann? You know, I know Everton were very, very hopeful of maybe prizing him away. Will he stay at Palace?
He will, definitely, yeah. He won't be going anywhere. And I think there's an announcement coming very soon on a new deal for Scott, so we're very pleased that he's agreed to stay as well. So I think, you know, we need to hold the squad together that we've got as well as add to it. So we've got no intention of letting any of the players that we want to stay.
Why would you, Steve, with that finish last year? Brilliant.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it was, you know, kind of fifth place form, wasn't it, since Alan took over. So if we can recreate anything like that all the way through a season, I mean, for me, it'd be great just to have a manager for a whole season. Yeah. So if I can manage to do that and everything goes well, you know, there's no saying what we might be able to do.
Steve, I was at Stoke when obviously Palace came up, and you it wasn't a surprise really. You were playing obviously very good football. People looked at Alan Pardew and his decision to come down to you, but how much is obviously Alan Pardew and his manager has moved you on? Is it that you're able to then go out and get people like Cabaye? Is that part of why you can go out there because of Alan's record?
Yeah, and also on this one, don't underestimate Alan's relationship with the player. Obviously, you know, Yohan had a very successful period working with Alan. I think you find that Alan is a coach that players trust, and certainly our players. I think a couple of managers that we've had have tried to change the way we played, tried to make us a bit more confident on the ball, a bit braver, and it hasn't always worked out. Whereas the group of players that we've got really trust Alan. You know, he has a knack of making players feel comfortable about what he's asking them to do. So I think that Alan was a big, big step in the right direction for the football club, and, you know, we mustn't underestimate his influence over this particular transfer at all, because he's obviously known the player for a long time. I mean, I think it's safe to say that Yohan's bought into everything that we're doing at the club, and he's come to join Crystal Palace, but it's also safe to say it wouldn't have happened if we didn't have Alan running the football club.
Well, that's great news, the player trusting the manager, because look what's going on at Liverpool at the moment. It's an absolute joke. Steve, are you worried that football at the moment, player power, is just so strong now, probably the strongest ever, and demands from some players now is just it's just getting beyond the joke?
Well, I think we have a bit of a problem in the Premier League because we've spoken about it. I've spoken about it with other chairmen. You know, we now have a market which is really just the Premier League almost, because the league is so successful globally. The television money that we receive means that we're almost just competing against ourselves, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. And if you have a player that is on the kind of money that we're starting to pay regularly in the Premier League, that maybe you want to move on, there's really no market other than the other 19 Premier League clubs. So I think it's something that will become a growing problem, but how you guard against it, I don't know. We're in an open market. We have agents. We have, as you say, the Bosman ruling, so that players, when they get towards the end of the contract, have an incredible amount of power over what happens. So I don't see it changing, really.
Steve, obviously, great announcements today. Are we expecting more signings before the end of the transfer window?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, we're working on 3 more. I don't know if we'll get them all done, but that's the aim. We're very committed to bolstering the squad and having a really good year. You know, that's the aim. Want to back Alan, back the fans, back everybody that's put everything into the club to get us where we are now. So very exciting times, and hopefully we can sustain this and really build on it.
Steve, 10th last year. Would you settle for that again this year? Because I look at the clubs above, and it's going to be difficult to get in amongst them.
Yeah, you know, we finished higher every year since we bought the club. So it's getting tough, I agree. Of course you'd settle for 10th, and we're not getting carried away. You know, you don't win matches in the transfer window. You know, you win them on the pitch, and we need to get to 40 points. I mean, every club in the league will tell you they want to get to 40 points is the first benchmark. Then you're secure in the league, and then who knows what happens. But I think we've got to be ambitious as well, and our aim is definitely to get above that 10th position, no question.
And Steve, a special mention, the fans, especially at home, have been brilliant. You
know, and it makes a big difference to the players. I don't think sometimes the fans actually truly understand how much of a help it is, and also to bringing players in. You know, all of the agents and all of the players we meet, they've all heard about the atmosphere. They all want to play in front of that. You know, no player wants to play in front of a quiet stadium or a sterile atmosphere. So they're a massive, massive part of what we do, and hats off to them, because if we hadn't have had them, I don't think we'd have got to where we've got to today.